Welcome back to the show. It's a Talk About It Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about the ways all of my projects talk to me. It's going to be a good one. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop. You can call it intuition, you can call it insanity, you can be jealous because the voices in my head really do talk to me. Or maybe you will understand what I'm saying, but I was recently asked how I make decisions about how I'm going to do a project. Well, I have a process, and we have talked about that process a little bit. Like when I finally get a project, the first thing I do is bring it home and as soon as I can. And then I set it in a specific spot in front of the shop, and I just let it start talking to me. Every time when I come home from being out on the road like I am right now, that vehicle will tell me something. And I start to get a picture of what it wants to be. So let me give you a couple of examples. Stitch's Challenger was a recent one. That car sat in front of the shop for about a year. I did some work on it outside, banging the roof back out, and the very first episodes on the channel are actually during that season of my life from 5 years ago. And I would just listen to what the car was telling me it wanted. I had an idea of what I wanted to do with that car, and it was going to be write out big fat stupid checks and put in a big huge fat order to AMD and probably max out my credit cards and then go through financial failure or something like that. But the more that I worked with the car and the more that I listened to what the car was saying, I quickly realized that, number one, it's been a long time since I've tackled a huge fabrication project. Number two, I wanted the personal challenge of tackling something that bad without just writing checks for parts. And number three, the more I thought about it, the more excited I got about the project. It was like, yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be some of the greatest challenges I've ever tackled in my life. And I need challenges like that. So there we go on that. The next one in the queue there was a couple others that came through, but I think the next one in the queue there, in that particular spot, was the Forsyth. There's a huge backstory on the Forsyth that at some point all will be revealed, but right now it's going to remain a mystery. But the Forsyth Duster sat in that same spot, and I was already neck deep in doing the Challenger, and I realized that, you know what, I want to get this one done quicker. I don't want to spend thousands of hours fabricating everything. And the more I looked at the car, and even though it is an all numbers matching, all original 340 3-speed that was only on the road for 1 year of its life and on the drag strip for the rest of its life until the early 80s when it was parked, it only has 9,000 miles on it, original mileage. I know the family, I know the whole history. People can say whatever they want about it. That's the fact, Jack, confirmed from the family. The temptation was to restore it all to original. 9,000 miles, 340 3-speed is a rare car for a 1970 Duster. That'll be awesome. And the car said, Other forces in the universe said, that car needs to be preserved, not restored. So that was the plan. The car said what it wanted. The forces of the universe said what it wanted. And we are doing a hybrid approach to that where we've bought a bunch of parts for it. We bought a torsion bar cross member. We've bought some floor pans. I fabricated some under-seat pans because we didn't want to do the whole floor pan in the car. It's going to be a cool project. Right now it's waiting on me to build because we haven't been able to buy an inner rocker panel on the driver's side. And that's exactly what that car wants. I have everything to do it now. I will be working on that car again this winter. You'll be surprised compared to Stitch's how quickly that car comes together. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to be running it down the drag strip next year, but each project, the mullet, the golden mullet was a bit different because I knew what I was looking for going into it. I knew I wanted to build a pro mod style, but stupid, crazy, fast drag car with a big block, 671 blower. But as time progressed, things started happening, and that 413 kind of fell in my lap, and we're going to punch that out to 426, and we're going to put that 671 blower on it that I've had forever. And then I realized, hey, we've got a bunch of 4-speed transmissions in the warehouse. Let's make it a big block blown 4-speed car. That'll be fun. And the more I worked it through, and the more I thought about it, and the more I listened to the car after I got it home, the more I realized the potential of what this thing could be, including the name, because I realized it's a 67 Plymouth Belvedere. Oh, that's the Silver Bullet, except this is the nerd car. This is the two-door post. It's not a hardtop. It's the nerdy one. It's the mullet. It's the golden mullet. Yes. So each project kind of takes on a life of its own. So let's bring it down into stuff I've been doing recently. So right in the midst of these talk about it's, I've been doing a ton of work on the 47 Fat Fanny Ford. That's a lot of F words. Particularly interior work. And I'm not sure where this is going to fall. I don't want to say too much. But even from what I filmed with some of the upholstery work that I'm doing on that car, and the project did take a little bit of a turn a different way, you'll see that coming. As I was working on the upholstery, it started talking to me and telling me what it wanted. And I would stumble across things in the shop, in the warehouse, and those things would jump up at me and say, you need me on Fat Fanny. These things talk to me. They really do. I see things and I get inspired, and it's like they take on a life of their own. It's a lot like songwriting for me. When we get the idea of a song, when my partner and I start writing a song, we both will say the song starts talking to us and telling us what it wants. And it's amazing the things that will occur to one or the other of us as far as what the song wants to be and what the song needs to be. And these things happen if you tune in and you listen. Now you could take and you could say, well, psychologically, your just subconscious mind is being expired. Don't care about any of that, right? They talk to me. As somebody once said, you're just jealous because the voices really do talk to me. We all have different ways of expressing things and saying things, but I'd like to hear your stories, drop it down there in the comments, about how things kind of occurred to you and started talking to you as you were working on projects, and things ended up in a different shape or a different place or a different way than you were expecting. Drop it down there in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you have a YouTube channel, hey, throw it over on your channel. Tell the story. Send me a link and I'll watch and listen, and I'll even comment for you. All right, that's going to do it for this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Oh yeah, don't forget, it's important. It's really important. Rock!